Hey everyone, and welcome to This Explainer. If you're a focused learner who absolutely loves breaking down systems and finding out exactly how things tick, well, you are definitely in the right place. Today, we're going to dive into a storybook, specifically the really charming story of Leo's bright days of discovery and learning. But look, we aren't just going to read you a story today. No way. We're going to extract the ultimate blueprint for early childhood education that is hiding right there within its pages. We are going to visually deconstruct exactly how a child's week is structured for maximum joy, curiosity, and retention. Okay, let's dive into this. Have you ever wondered, what is the secret recipe for a perfect day of learning? Like, what does it actually look like? We're framing Leo's journey here not just as some simple children's narrative, but as a holistic, incredibly well thought out educational case study. Every single thing Leo does, literally from the moment he wakes up to the minute he goes home, is part of this carefully crafted architecture of learning. To make this super easy to follow, we've broken the whole explainer down into 5 thematic pillars: a bright and fresh start, mastering STEM and observation, the power of playground kindness, healthy bodies and creative minds, and finally, celebrating a week of success. All right, let's hit the road. Kicking things off with Section 1, a bright and fresh start, building routines and early literacy. You know, a truly successful school week actually begins way before a kid even steps foot inside a classroom. The source text leans heavily into sensory signposting here to establish a rock-solid routine. First, you get the loud beep, beep, beep of the friendly alarm clock setting the whole day in motion. Then comes the hygiene routine, brushing those teeth until they literally gleam, which is followed by the crunch munch yum of a healthy oatmeal breakfast loaded with blueberries. And finally, that crisp, fresh walk to school. This isn't just filler to pad out the story, right? This structured morning routine provides a vital psychological and physical foundation. By the time Leo arrives at school, his heart is full of happy energy. He is fully primed and ready for all the knowledge that awaits him. And that readiness immediately translates straight into early literacy. Once he's inside, Leo heads straight to the cozy library corner with Mrs. Gable. Notice his methodical phonics practice here. He isn't rushing at all. When he's reading a book about big blue whales, he points to each individual word. And when he hits a really tricky one, he breaks it down syllable by syllable. Magnificent. This patient, hyper-focused decoding process earns Leo a shining 100 score on his reading comprehension sticker. It's such an active, deeply engaged way of conquering language. Moving right along to Section 2, Mastering STEM and Observation, Exploring Logic and Nature. Let's move to Tuan and see how this builds. Shifting from foundational literacy right into the analytical world, Miss Lily transitions the class directly into geometry. Leo reaches into a basket of wooden shapes and starts building real logic skills by arranging them. He grabs a bright red circle, a green square, a yellow triangle, and then he repeats it. Circle, square, triangle. He then reinforces this tactile, hands-on learning by carefully tracing those exact shapes with a pencil on his worksheet, making circles as round as coins and squares with perfectly equal sides. By combining the physical manipulation of the blocks with the fine motor skill of tracing, Leo completely locks in the concept. And yep, he earns himself another perfect 100. But hey, STEM isn't just something you do sitting at a desk all day. The curriculum expertly bridges the macro concept of observational science with a really micro, hands-on anecdote. During a science safari out in the school courtyard, Leo uses a magnifying glass to explore the flower beds. And what does he find? A ladybug. Notice how the number 6 is absolutely key here. He carefully counts exactly 6 black polka dots on his shiny red wings, and then he immediately documents his finding by drawing it in his nature journal. I mean, this is literally the scientific method in action: observation, data collection, and documentation. And that science exploration, it continues the very next morning with weather watching. Leo looks out the window, notes the sky is sunny and partly cloudy, and he deduces the air is warm specifically because the sun is heating the earth. This brilliantly illustrates how subjects in a well-designed curriculum completely overlap. He doesn't just observe, he practices his absolute neatest handwriting, making sure every single letter of the words sunny and warm sits nicely on the blue guideline of his workbook. For his accuracy and penmanship, he gets a smiling sun sticker and, you guessed it, another proud 100. All right, Section 3, The Power of Playground Kindness, Fostering Social-Emotional Growth. So when that recess bell goes ring-a-ling-a-ling, we completely shift our focus from academics to a totally vital opportunity for inclusivity and teamwork. So the crucial point is, recess isn't just unorganized, chaotic playtime.
Leo spots a new boy, Sam, standing near the edge of the playground, nervously clutching his jacket. Instead of just ignoring him and running off, Leo remembers how other kids welcomed him when he was new, and he invites Sam to build a huge sandbox mountain together. They work as a team, Leo packing the sand, Sam decorating it with smooth pebbles. The text explicitly notes that being a good friend doesn't require any sort of magic. It literally just takes a kind heart, a friendly voice, and a willingness to share.
Heading back indoors for Section 4, Healthy Bodies and Creative Minds, Connecting Physical Fuel and Auditory Arts.
Coming back inside, we see exactly how the school day balances physical well-being with creative expression in Miss Lily's health and nutrition class. They discuss the healthy plate, and Leo knows exactly what goes into it. Crunchy green broccoli, sweet red apples, brown whole grains, and healthy proteins. The lesson here is deeply, deeply practical. Good food and plenty of cool water aren't just arbitrary rules teachers make up. They act as essential, premium fuel for a kid's brain, allowing them to run, jump, and think really hard. Leo absolutely aces his health and safety quiz, perfectly matching foods to their groups, and earns yet another bright red 100. And of course, fueling the body allows for fueling the creative mind, which brings us to Mr. Davis's orchestra class. Notice the fantastic use of sensory onomatopoeia here. You've got the short red bar of the xylophone making a high, bright ding, 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 compared to the long purple bar making a deep, low thud, thud, thud. Leo actually closes his eyes to truly hear the difference between the two. When he's asked to play a pattern mixing high and low notes, he holds his mallets perfectly and plays the notes in the exact right order. His careful, focused listening earns him stupendous praise and, yep, another shiny 100. Finally, Section 5, Celebrating a Week of Success, the pedagogical impact of positive reinforcement. Throughout Leo's entire week, we've seen this really rhythmic motif of positive reinforcement. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is these aren't the teacher's words at all. This is Leo's very own self-reflection. Friday afternoon brings the big grand classroom exhibition, where all the parents come to see the amazing displays of perfect scores and nature journals. When Leo's mother gasps in wonder at all his hard work, Leo proudly lists his own keys to success. He practiced daily, he listened carefully, he helped his friends, and crucially, this is the big one, he never gave up when things got tricky. He has completely internalized the process of learning. Let's quickly walk through the timeline of this week's reward loop. It starts with daily practice and empathy, those core foundations we discussed. That naturally leads to the steady accumulation of 100s and stickers, which provide immediate micro-rewards. This all builds up to the massive macro reward, Friday's grand classroom exhibition, where the students get to show off their absolute pride to their families. And the whole thing beautifully culminates on the colorful classroom carpet where Miss Lily hands out a very special Gold Star certificate to every single child. It's a complete, wonderfully supportive ecosystem of validation. As Leo walks home under that golden afternoon sun, with his backpack on his shoulders, he realizes something huge. Learning is a wonderful adventure that never, ever truly ends. So, I want to leave you with this provocative thought on our final slide today. How can we apply these joyful learning principles to our own lives and classrooms? Seriously, think about it. Whether you're a student, a teacher, or honestly just a lifelong learner, how can you build better routines, observe the world around you a little more closely, and foster true kindness in your own daily playground? Let that marinate for a bit. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and hey, keep exploring.